All right, on Wednesday here in Mitchell Livestock, we had a weigh up sale of your weigh up cows and bulls. Bulls, your high yielding bulls were running 183 to 197 a pound, and your lower yielding bulls were running 165 to 182 a pound. Your fat fed cows running at 174 to 183 and a quarter. Feeding cows 165 to 190 a pound, so pretty good go there. Cows that are headed straight to kill are running at 130 to 155 a pound, and thins and cripples would be that 130 on down. We did have a test of some fat cattle, and the fats were running 210 to 222 and a half per pound. So, I'd say it's fairly steady on them cows. I mean, they haven't backed off at all.
No, things with all the market news going on, really seems like there's still a lot of buyers out there wanting these cattle, and
Yeah, I think there's honestly buyer participation. They just got to buy them accordingly.
Yep.
And we kind of saw that on Thursday. I'll talk a little bit about that. We were back here Thursday, November the 20th. Had a nice little shot of feeders. Of course, we always start without some backgrounded cattle and some open heifers, and that way had a nice set of these 949 pound heifers. They brought 268 a pound. Then we had a really nice, a whole load of them, 886 pound heifers. They brought 283 and a quarter, so a real good go on some green heifers. They were all backgrounded out of the lot, guys. So then we had a little shot of 958 pound heifers. They were all home raised. They brought 275, and then the light sisters weighed 900 at 276 and a half. Then we come back, Reputation set of heifers, 2 loads of them. They weighed 950, and they brought 273.50. So pretty good go as far as the backgrounded heifer deal. All things considering, the board up and down and all over. So we come back on these steers. A big set of steers, 1018 at 291 and a half. Now they had quite a bit of flesh to them. Kind of some bigger steers, but had a little flesh. So that's why they, maybe knocked them just a little bit, but good quality. Then we had some 971 steers, bring 296 and a half. Set of steers, there was a whole load of these steers, 60 head, 909, they bring 324.50. Nice set of little grass cattle. They had a Reputation set of these big steers, there were 3 loads of them, all come out of the west. They weighed 1205 and they brought 263 and a half. So that was a pretty good poke on some big 12 weight cattle.
yeah, dang sure was.
As far as the yearlings. Listen to this calf deal, guys. We'll get started in on some of these calves. Some of these steer calves, we had a set of 437 pound steer calves off the cow, had a couple rounds of shots in them. 437, they bring 471. Then we had a little set of these 365 pound steers, same deal. They were off the cow, had some shots. They bring 560, that's $2,044 a head for a little 300 pound steer calf. 310, little light brothers off them, they bring 607 and a half. That was $1,883 a head for them. Then we come into some of these 5 weight steers. We had some 506s bring 419. We had some 539s bring 433. Kind of the middle fives, I would say they cost from 425 on up to 435, depending on where they were. 6 weight steers, we traded them kind of from 380 up to 406 and a half. Had a really good set of these 641 steers. I got a star by them. 641s. They were off the cow and they had 2 rounds of shots. They bring $2,440 a head, so pretty good go. As far as the heifer calves, same deal. Some of these little light heifers, they sell pretty good. 495s, they bring 402 a pound. 498s at 394. We had a lot of these 5 weight heifers. They cost anywhere from 385 all the way up to 402 and a half on a light to upper 5 weight heifer. We get into these 6 weight heifers, they knock them a little bit if they had a little meat. So you guys just kind of keep it in mind. If they carry a little bit of extra flesh, they're going to buy them accordingly. They still buy them, but they'll just buy them back a little bit. We had some 625s that traded at 335, and we had a set of 638s at 328. Now we had a set of 650 pound heifers. They bring 348, but they were really green and had 2 rounds of shot. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's nothing against them. It's just, maybe they're a little bit greener. So that's how it trades. I had a set of 717 pound heifers. They bring 310 a pound. So that's kind of how it was on Thursday. Obviously they're still buying them. There's lots of participation, but just kind of keep it in the back of your head. They're going to be a little bit cheaper this next go around. With everything, the board up and down, and now that they closed this plant in Nebraska, it'll be a little bit interesting to see what happens.
But we had a bullish cattle on feed
Yeah.
report, so we'll just settle out through the
Yeah.
weekend and see how she goes.
Well, and the best part about it is, guys, we got 2 weeks until our next feeder sale.
That's
So
correct.
This deal might kind of just level on off. So
And in a couple weeks here, well, let's just start with next week. We will have our regular butcher cow and bull sale, 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. That'll be November 26th, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'll sell the butcher cows and bulls at 9. Then we'll be on the fat cattle around 10:30. And then with any baby and started calves after that. Then coming up on Monday, that would be, I'm going to pick out December 8th, isn't it?
Yes.
Special, it's kind of a private sale, so to speak, I'm going to call it, but it's Chris Heffling and some of his consigners with a lot of their genetics and stuff. They're going to have about approximately 500 of these
Yep.
bred heifers, all time bred and ready to go. There's one outstanding set of second calf cows on that deal, but it'll be outstanding genetics, outstanding all the way through from reputation people throughout South Dakota. Okay, then on when we come back the 4th, I'm going to back up on the 4th here a little bit. Our feeder cattle sale, that'll be the first one, 4th of December. We'll have 2,500. There's about 700 yearlings on there already. The rest is calves on there. 1,600 on at this point. So we'll add to that as next week, 10 days goes along, 2 weeks, and right in there. And then coming up on the 11th of, is that the barbecue? Yeah, 11th
Yep.
of December. We'll have our wintertime barbecue sale. Got some nice yearlings lined up on that. Calf consignments. We'll tell you more about that as we get a little closer. And then our Mitchell Livestock bred cow and heifer sale. The next one will be Saturday, the 13th of December at 12 o'clock noon. And we'll let you know that as we get a little closer to the time. But that's kind of what we got coming up here off and on through the next 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Randy, you want to tell us about how we got along today with these bred cows?
Well, these bred cows, there's a little different undertone than what you've been hearing around the country all along. And this is our first one of the year. We probably had more solid broken mouth cows than usual, but that's what it is right here. One nice deal of heifers. What did they fetch, Travis? The nice heifers, they bring 3,600.
36.50.
But a nice set of heifers right in their everyday clothes. But I mean, I thought they were in perfect condition.
Yep.
Bred for
Ready to
February. Yeah. Cow deal, the scale deal's still good, so the bottom price on these cows is still going to be pretty decent and like that. You'll sell a lot of these cows all the way from 23,400 probably up to 31,200 for the kind of cows. Probably a little more agey cows today. Nice cows, usable cows, but a little agey on some of them cows today. And that's kind of where that bred cow deal would pretty much stay. I think if you had a full dispersal or something, that would change it to several $100s per head.
Yep.
So, but I think all in all, there's guys looking for cows. They're looking, but we're all going to be, how do you say that? Going to be cautiously optimistic. Let's go that way.
Yep.
all in all, I thought just a really good week here at Mitchell. Things traded pretty good, I thought. So coming up down the road too. Make sure you mark your calendars. We got the Greater Midwest Livestock Auctioneering Contest coming right here to Mitchell. It's one of the Triple Crown Auctioneer contests, and that'll be January the 22nd. That'll be a big feeder calf special. So mark that on your calendars. If you got some cattle to sell, might be a good time to have them here.
Or if they want to enter.
Or if they want to enter, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that'll conclude us. Have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you guys the first week of December.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Feeding cows there. 45, 46 here, another 7, another 8, another 9, another 15, another 1.